And activists say the teenager found in a hotel freezer was seen stumbling through the hallways minutes before.
Terrifying, mysterious, and deeply disturbing. These are the most unbelievable hotel horror stories that will leave you truly shaken.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Elisa Lam case. A hotel guest went missing, but no one expected what was about to be found. In 2013, a 21-year-old Canadian student named Elisa Lam was staying at the Cecil Hotel in Los Angeles. She was traveling alone. One day, she suddenly disappeared. The hotel staff and police searched everywhere. Days later, guests complained about the water. When workers checked the rooftop water tank, they found Elisa's body inside. Before she went missing, a security camera showed her acting strangely in an elevator, pressing buttons, hiding in corners, and talking to no one. The footage quickly went viral. Even though the police said it was an accident, this case still feels strange. Kenneka's last walk.
And activists say the teenager found dead in a hotel freezer was seen stumbling through the hallways minutes before her death.
This case from Rosemont, Illinois, raised serious questions across the country. Kenneka Jenkins, a 19-year-old girl from Chicago, was found lifeless inside a hotel freezer after attending a party in 2017. Hotel security cameras showed her walking alone through the halls, looking confused before she ended up in the kitchen area.
Kenneka Jenkins' mother tells me she will be reviewing the surveillance video with her attorney today. The Cook County Medical Examiner's Office also has the surveillance video, which reportedly shows Kenneka Jenkins walking into the hotel freezer and not coming back out.
Officials ruled her demise an accident caused by hypothermia with medication in her system. But her family didn't believe it was that simple. They blamed the hotel for poor security and filed a lawsuit. In 2023, the hotel agreed to settle the case for $10 million. This strange and sad event still feels suspicious to many. Haunted hotel room.
John, are you there?
On September 14, 2003, the security manager at a Wingate Hotel in Illinois got several calls from guests. They all reported loud screaming coming from room 209 on the second floor. The guard went to check. He called for backup and unlocked the door.
John, do you copy? It's room 209. Amy says nobody's checked into that room, and there's reports of screaming.
But what he found inside has never been shared. His voice can be heard on the recording, but the room was empty. Still, strange noises and loud screams were clearly captured. The hotel said the room had no history, but past guests had also reported odd sounds from it. This is the only known recording from that room. Night shift mystery.
Who is he talking to? Yes, sir. Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to a elderly lady. She said she's looking for Mr. Griffin. Her name is Miss Abigail.
A strange video was shared from a building in Houston, Texas. A security guard was doing his usual night shift when he spoke to someone he clearly saw. On the radio, he told the team that an old lady named Miss Abigail wanted to see Mr. Griffin. But the guard was told something shocking.
Did you say Miss Abigail?
Yes, ma'am.
Like, she's been passed on for 2 years now.
Miss Abigail had passed 2 years ago. Yet the guard kept talking like she was standing right there. The camera showed no one in front of him. Still, he spoke politely, gave directions, and even pointed to the exit. Whatever happened that night, it wasn't part of his job, but it may have been a message from someone who never left. Lars's final footage. Lars Mittank's airport footage is one of the most unsettling missing person cases caught on camera. In 2014, the German man remained in Bulgaria after a fight hurt his ear. But what happened next was strange. Lars began acting unusually anxious. He told his mom that people were trying to harm him and even took shelter in a hotel before heading to Varna Airport. Security footage shows him calmly walking, then suddenly sprinting out of the terminal, jumping a fence, and vanishing into the trees. He left everything behind: his bags, passport, and even his phone. To this day, no one has found him. Beach body clue. A man calling himself Peter Bergman arrived in Sligo, Ireland in June 2009. He checked into a small hotel, stayed quiet, and acted normal. But something was off. CCTV showed him leaving the hotel with full bags and returning empty-handed, as if he was hiding his belongings. Even the labels on his clothes were removed. Days later, his body was found on the beach. He had no ID, no documents, and no damage. The address he wrote down at the hotel didn't exist, and no one ever came forward to identify him. To this day, no one knows who he really was. It's as if this man came to erase himself from the world, completely and quietly. Fake name check-in. In 1995, a young woman checked into the Oslo Plaza Hotel under the name Jennifer Fairgate. She gave fake details and arrived with no ID, passport, or credit card. 2 days later, she was found lifeless in her hotel room with a wound from a gun. Police at first believed she had done it by herself, but many things didn't add up. The gun had no fingerprints, the tags on her clothes were all removed, and strangely, she had no belongings except for a briefcase with bullets. To this day, no one knows who she was or why she came to Oslo. All that's left is a name that never existed and a mystery that refuses to fade. Creepy corridor. On March 11th, 2023, a strange and unexplained event was caught on camera inside a hotel. A girl had just entered the corridor and was about to go into her room when something chilling happened. A plant suddenly fell right in front of her, without anyone around. What made it worse was the sudden gust of air that swept through the closed corridor. There were no open windows or vents. She didn't wait another second and ran straight into her room. The entire moment was caught on CCTV, and viewers agree. There was nothing normal about what happened. Whether it was a spirit passing through or something worse, that hotel definitely gave off a paranormal vibe. Creepy restaurant encounter. A paranormal investigator went into an abandoned restaurant, hoping to find proof of what locals had whispered about for years. He searched every corner with his flashlight in the dark, and at first, everything seemed normal. But after a few quiet minutes, strange things began. A painting on the wall suddenly tilted and moved on its own, though there was no wind. Spooked, he ran toward the other side of the building, only to freeze when he saw a man in a white dress staring at him from behind a glass door. But when he rushed over to check, no one was there. These unexplained moments have now become proof that the restaurant might not be empty after all. Headless waiter. Security footage from a hotel restaurant revealed something beyond explanation. A headless waiter calmly serving guests. The incident started when terrified guests in one of the rooms screamed and reported the shocking sight. At first, no one believed them, but when the hotel authorities reviewed the CCTV footage, they were stunned. The video clearly showed a man in a server's uniform, completely headless, walking in the gallery after serving them. The hotel staff later confirmed that a waiter had once sadly passed away there years ago. Now it seems his spirit might still be trying to finish the shift he never completed. Dark presence. This might be the scariest video ever posted online. A CCTV camera inside a hotel room captured a girl sleeping peacefully until something terrifying happened. Out of nowhere, her door slowly creaked open, but no one was there. A dark shadow figure then appeared near the entrance. Moments later, her blanket started sliding off by itself. She didn't wake up, so the shadow grabbed her legs and violently pulled her off the bed. The video ends with her lying on the floor, confused and terrified. No staff could explain what happened, and if this is what the camera caught, who knows what wasn't seen. Dark Spirit. A creepy video from 2016 is once again going viral across the internet. In the footage, a baby girl is seen standing quietly in the corridor of a hotel when a shadowy figure suddenly zips across the hallway in front of her. But what's more disturbing is what happens next. The dark figure slowly begins approaching the little girl as she stands outside her room, completely unaware. Many viewers believe the hotel might have already been haunted, while others suggest the ghost could have followed the girl from somewhere else. The eerie calm of the scene made it even more frightening. Whether the spirit belonged to the hotel or the child, something terrifying was clearly caught on that tape. Paranormal footage. Paranormal activity was caught on camera at what's believed to be America's most haunted hotel. In the leaked CCTV footage, doors inside the hotel slowly opened on their own and slammed shut seconds later, without a single person nearby. Not just that, even signboards dropped suddenly as if pushed by invisible hands. For many viewers, these clips were the clearest proof yet that the hotel truly is haunted. It's no longer just a story. Phantom Visitor. Security guards at a museum spotted something truly eerie on the surveillance camera. The museum was officially closed that day. No visitors, no staff inside. But the footage showed a blurry figure of a woman appearing out of nowhere. She was slowly walking around the exhibition area as if she was deeply observing the displays. What shocked the guards even more was how she moved without triggering any alarms. There was no entry or exit logged. Her presence was never confirmed in person. Many now believe it wasn't a living person, but a spirit that somehow revealed itself, perhaps connected to an item in the exhibit. One thing's for sure, this museum holds more than just historical artifacts. Unseen pull. She only wanted to check on her child, but what happened next was beyond shocking. On December 4th, 2024, in an Ohio hotel, a surveillance camera caught a truly terrifying moment. A woman entered the room to get her child, but suddenly, an invisible force dragged her out. She struggled and came back, only to be pulled again, this time even harder, down the stairs and into another room. The door slammed shut behind her. Moments later, she walked out again, but her behavior had completely changed. Something didn't feel right. Many believe she wasn't alone anymore. Something had taken over. Hallway shadow. A security guard on night patrol at a San Francisco college captured something strange on camera in 2016. As he walked down an empty hallway, a loud sound caught his attention. He turned and saw a dark shadow figure slip around a corner. The guard rushed after it, but no one was there. He checked the stairwell. Still, nothing. There was no time for anyone to vanish like that. Many believe it wasn't a person at all. The college is said to be haunted by a student who once ended her life there. And this footage might have captured her ghost walking the halls, still trapped in the place she left behind. Restless spirit. A paranormal investigator went to explore an abandoned hotel. With only his flashlight, he checked every floor and hallway, recording each step. At first, nothing seemed strange, but just as he was about to head back, he came across something terrifying. At the end of the hall, he spotted a woman in a white dress with open hair. Sitting calmly on the floor. Thinking she might need help, he called out to her. That's when her head bent backwards completely upside down. It looked like the spirit of a girl. Maybe the same spirit that forced this hotel to be shut down in the first place. Hotel haunt. Here we go with another haunt in a hotel. A man was about to enter his room when something strange was caught on the hotel's security footage. Just behind him, a dark figure with long, stretched arms appeared in the hallway. It looked semi-transparent and walked a few steps before fading away. The man noticed it when the door opened slightly, then shut on its own. He quickly turned to look, but by then, the figure had vanished. The footage clearly shows something beyond explanation was there. Ghost of the Stadium. At Tomás Adolfo Ducos Stadium in Buenos Aires, when security guard Raúl Arguello heard the dressing room door slam shut for the third time. This time, he decided to record. As he opened the door, no one was inside, but something else was. A dark, shadowy figure rushed past the benches and disappeared straight through the wall. The movement was fast, but his phone clearly captured it. Raúl stood frozen. Many say the stadium has had strange energy for years, but no one expected this. From what the video shows, it wasn't a person hiding. Something unexplainable was making itself known. And now that it's been seen, it raises only one question. Why now? Haunted Cafe. A sweeper was cleaning the cafe after closing time, all alone. That's when a strange thing happened. A chair suddenly dragged across the floor on its own. No one was around. Shocked, he paused his work and walked away to check if someone was hiding, or if there was any explanation. But what followed was even scarier. As he left the frame, the CCTV camera captured a ghostly face peeking straight into the lens. It made a strange, eerie noise. Enough to scare anyone who later watched the footage. Unseen hotel crime.
A judge has sentenced a man for manslaughter following a fatal shooting in a room at the MCM Elegante Hotel in Beaumont.
Greg Flanagan was found lifeless in room 348 of a hotel in Beaumont, Texas. The door was locked. There were no signs of trouble. Everyone thought it was a heart attack, but the autopsy revealed signs of trauma, almost like he'd been involved in an intense impact. That didn't match the calm scene. Later, police found out a loud noise had occurred in the room next door. Something had gone through the wall and hit Greg without anyone noticing. It was a quiet demise caused by an unseen force, unnoticed until it was too late. Possessed hotel maid.
She looks very disturbed, almost too horror movie type.
In 2018, a hotel employer noticed something odd about one of their maids. She had been acting strange during her shift, so they decided to check the camera footage. What they saw was disturbing. The maid was behaving strangely and pointing in one corner as if someone was there, but the footage showed no one except her. Even her appearance looked ghostly. Many believed she was possessed. It did not seem to be a medical issue. Some said it reminded them of a real-life exorcism. The hotel management terminated her, but the hotel still wasn't at peace. Unfound student. Sudiksha Konanki, a 20-year-old student from the University of Pittsburgh, disappeared during her spring break at the Rio Republica Resort in the Dominican Republic in March 2025. CCTV footage showed her around 4:15 a.m., heading to the beach with a man named Joshua Ribe. He later claimed that strong waves dragged them into the ocean and that she vanished after he vomited up seawater. Massive search efforts, including drones and divers, turned up nothing. Her body was never found, and Ribe was eventually cleared. A normal beach night turned into a mystery that still has no clear ending. Trapped spirit. One of Oklahoma's oldest hotels is said to hold a dark secret. The Skirvin Hilton was built in 1910, and legend says the hotel owner locked a pregnant maid inside a room on the 10th floor to hide an affair. Her name was Effie. She later jumped from the window with her baby. Since then, strange things have been reported. Doors opening by themselves, whispers in empty rooms, and the sound of a crying baby with no source. Even NBA players who stayed there said they couldn't sleep because of unexplained noises. There's no record of her demise, but guests still talk about Effie like she never left the building. Possessed hotel guest. A leaked video from a haunted hotel forced its doors shut for good. The footage showed a woman suddenly acting strange in the lobby. She picked up a doll and started speaking to it like it was a real baby. Her voice changed. It became darker, almost like someone or something else was speaking through her. Her eyes looked distant, as if she wasn't herself anymore. Many believe she was possessed by something evil hiding inside the hotel. The staff who leaked the video claimed it wasn't the first time odd behavior had been caught there. But this one was different. It was too disturbing. That one recording was all it took to close the hotel. Playtime turned dark.
The toy. Oh my god. Yeah.
It started with a strange noise from his sister's room. Jaden Applewood kept hearing toys go off on their own, especially a doll that seemed too active for comfort. One day, he decided to film it. As soon as he hit record, the doll made a noise again.
The toy.
Startled, Jaden turned to leave, but something unexpected happened.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm gonna get up.
A loud crash echoed, and an object bounced near his feet. He ran. That was the last moment on video. Jaden later admitted these odd events weren't new. They'd been happening for a while. Whether it was a spirit trying to reach out or something more hostile is unclear. But one thing is certain. Those toys weren't just for play anymore. Men in Black. Security footage from a mall entrance revealed something bizarre. Two men in identical black suits and hats walked inside. The resemblance to the legendary Men in Black was too strong to ignore. For decades, these figures have been rumored to appear after UFO sightings, intimidating witnesses into silence. Some believe they're government agents. Others claim they're not even human. But what were they doing at a regular shopping mall? No known sightings had been reported nearby. At least none made public. These two left everyone puzzled, just like they always do. Unseen roommate. In 2020, an explorer revealed a disturbing sight hidden deep in the woods. An abandoned house believed to be tied to a person who took lives in the 1950s. Locals say this is where the one responsible for the upsetting events may have hidden the remains, and possibly even lived. Steve's team went inside and soon discovered strange things. A group of bird skulls, an animal spine, and creepy figurines, one shaped like a skeleton, another like Gollum. None of it made sense. Why were these things left behind? And who put the animal parts there? It felt more like a twisted trophy room than an empty house. Abandoned haunting. Strange noises were coming from the front hotel building late at night. A man staying nearby stepped onto his balcony to check, and what he saw was terrifying. Someone inside one of the rooms shut the window. But here is the real shock. That entire floor had been closed for weeks due to reports of paranormal activity. No one was supposed to be there. Locals claimed they'd seen shadows moving behind those windows before, but this time, someone caught it happening in real time. That one window shutting on its own was enough to send fear across the neighborhood. Something is still inside that abandoned floor. Strange encounter.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
A ghost hunter entered an abandoned building, hoping to prove that something was really hiding in the dark. While scanning the halls, he suddenly spotted a creepy face with glowing eyes staring at him from a doorway.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Frozen for a second, he rushed toward it. But when he entered the room, it was empty. No sounds, no signs of life. He searched every corner, but found nothing. It was as if the figure had vanished just there. Was it a lost spirit still wandering the building? Or some dark force was guarding the building? Silent Watcher. A boy checked into a lonely hotel deep in the forest, unaware of the dark secrets it held. That night, he heard strange whispers outside his room. When he opened the door to check, he spotted a strange creature peeking at him from behind another door. In fear, he looked out of the window. There he saw a dark, ghostly figure standing still, staring straight at him. It felt like he was completely surrounded by something evil that had long haunted that hotel. Silent Stare.
รีวิวนะครับวันนี้มานั่งกินอยู่คนเดียวครับไม่มีใครมานั่งกินด้วย
A YouTuber was filming his vlog, showing off his room and talking about his day. Everything seemed normal until he re-watched the footage later that night. Behind him, through the window, a girl with a creepy face was clearly watching him. Her face didn't move, her eyes locked onto him the entire time, but he never saw her during the recording. Since that day, he hasn't recorded in that room again. Maybe because he now knows he's not alone in his own house anymore. Stairwell apparition. The Stanley Hotel in Colorado, the real-life inspiration behind The Shining, has a growing list of unexplained events and even disappearances. A man from Houston recently took a photo of the hotel's grand stairwell. When he looked at it later, a ghostly figure stood where no one had been. That same night, he fell mysteriously ill. He wasn't the only one. Other visitors shared similar images, figures appearing out of nowhere, staircases looking different in every photo. Tour guides have also reported strange sightings, like a black dog, eerily close to a hellhound. And some believe people didn't just visit this place, they stayed longer than intended, maybe even forever. Silent house intruders. In San Jose's Evergreen neighborhood, a home security camera captured a strange and disturbing break-in. Two men walked in holding knives, while a woman and a baby were inside. They moved through the house slowly, checking every single room. Then they entered one specific room and stayed inside for several minutes. No one knows what they did there, but when they finally came out, they were empty-handed. Nothing was stolen. No valuables were touched. It became clear this wasn't a robbery. It looked like they weren't after objects, but people. Hotel horror moment. A man checked into a hotel for a quiet week alone, but what he experienced was far from peaceful. One night while resting, he suddenly heard a sharp chopping sound, like someone was hacking at the wall with an axe. Moments later, a strange rope-like object slid out from beneath the closed door, twisting upward as if trying to unlock it from inside. Alarmed, he rushed out to catch whoever was behind this bizarre act, but the hallway was completely empty. At that moment, something about the hotel felt dangerously haunted. Water tank incident. Debani Escobar's case shook all of Mexico. The 18-year-old law student vanished after being dropped off near the Nueva Castilla motel. Her friends and family searched for days. But when her remains were later discovered inside a motel water tank, the story took a darker turn. Authorities first called it an accident, but later reports confirmed she was asphyxiated. Now, 2 motel workers are facing charges for giving false statements and hiding information. What really happened to Dabani that night still feels like a tightly guarded secret. City of Disappearances. This wasn't just a case of someone getting lost in a big city. This one had deeper shadows. Cameron Remmer, a 29-year-old from Encinitas, California, checked into the historic Fairmont Hotel during a business trip to San Francisco. He had big plans, carrying thousands in cash and dozens of marijuana packages to launch a medical startup. But everything took a strange turn. Hotel staff asked him to leave due to his odd behavior. Days later, he returned confused, wearing mismatched shoes, and then vanished without a trace. Strangely, his case wasn't the only one. Several other men vanished under eerie circumstances around the same time. Something was clearly wrong in San Francisco back then. Guest room nightmare. Guests at a North Carolina resort began complaining about a strange odor in their room. When staff investigated, they found something no one expected: the remains of 40-year-old Anaya Tillman hidden inside a closet. Shockingly, several guests had stayed in the room while her remains were there. Police soon arrested a suspect, charging him with serious offenses. The case left many disturbed, especially those who had unknowingly shared a room with the victim. A quiet resort stay turned into a dark mystery that still raises questions about how long she had been there and how no one noticed sooner. Unseen roommate.
Holy f***. Alright, that time.
A man staying alone in a hotel room believed a spirit was trying to make its presence known. The old wall clock in his room hadn't worked in over 10 years, yet it had started shaking on its own. Feeling uneasy, he began recording and asked the spirit to give a sign. Just then, the clock's hand moved right in front of him.
Holy f***. Alright, that time.
Seconds later, the door, which had been shut tight, suddenly opened without anyone near it. Shocked, the man whispered that something was inside the room with him that wanted to talk. Maybe the spirit had been waiting years for someone to finally hear it. Ghostly pull. This creepy footage recently appeared online, leaving many viewers unsettled. It shows a woman calmly moving toward a table in kitchen when, out of nowhere, something invisible appears to grab her hair. She jerks forward as if pulled by an unseen hand. Slowing down the clip reveals something even more disturbing: a shadowy figure reflected in the nearby window. No one else was in the room, and the woman had no idea what had just happened. Could this be solid proof of a ghostly presence? It sure looks like something paranormal was caught on tape. Terrifying night. A man decided to stay alone in a hotel, but his peaceful night turned into a nightmare. Suddenly, his room door began to close on its own. Moments later, he noticed the clothes in the dressing area being dragged, as if someone was hiding there. But he was completely alone. Things only got worse. He soon spotted a terrifying figure in a white robe, like a ghost. That was just the beginning. More unexplainable events followed throughout the night. It became the hardest night of his life, and maybe the scariest anyone's had in that hotel. Ghostly maid. During a paranormal investigation, the team heard a strange humming sound from the corner of a quiet room. As they moved closer, their EMF detector started going off, right near the bathroom. Hoping to make contact, they set up a spirit box, and to their shock, a voice replied.
What's that?
But the most chilling moment came when a door slowly shut on its own. No one was near it, and the camera caught everything. Later, during video review, the team spotted something they hadn't noticed before: a white figure that looked like a maid standing behind one investigator and then disappeared. It wasn't just movement. it was a full shape, gone in a flash. This ghostly sighting left no doubt something unseen still lingers there. Mysterious wave. A man walking past a quiet house spotted something that still haunts him. The house was empty, its owners were away. But through the top left window, a dark shadow figure suddenly appeared. It stood motionless for a few seconds, then vanished. Moments later, it popped up in the bottom left window, then teleported to the top right. Shockingly, it even seemed to wave at the camera. Finally, it emerged in the bottom right window before fading away completely. No one was supposed to be inside. There were no lights on, no movement anywhere else. The figure didn't walk. It jumped across floors like it was glitching. Some say it was a ghost. Others say it wasn't from this world at all. Devil's Hotel. A team of ghost hunters visited the Hotel Congress in Chicago, believed to be linked to one of the darkest criminals in American history, H.H. Holmes. They entered a room once tied to the person's twisted past. The place didn't just feel haunted, it was haunted. While filming, strange things began happening. Drawers opened on their own, cold spots were felt, and whispers echoed with no source. The investigators believe they made contact with Holmes's spirit, and what they heard from the spirit box was disturbing. This hotel didn't just hold memories, it held something far more sinister. Some say the Devil's Room still echoes with Holmes's evil plans.